Welcome back. We're about to show you some footages, and I want to tell you what you're about to see on your screen. It's not a building on a canal or water path in Lekki, Lagos. No, that's the River State House of Assembly being pulled down right before our very eyes. Not Lekki, not Aja. This is not Lagos State where someone is pulling down, trying to make sure they clear the canals and all that. No, indeed, the River State House of Assembly could be renamed Fuji House of Commotion, a reference to once popular Nigerian sitcom of a chaotic polygamous family. Indeed, the last 24 hours in River State have been filled with nothing short of commotion. Yesterday, 27 members of the River State House of Assembly said to be loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and former Governor of River State, Edison Ehie, defected from the ruling People's Democratic Party in the state to the All Progressives Congress, something we never thought would happen, citing division in the PDP as a primary reason for their defection. Moments later, an emergency State Executive Council meeting was called and a budget proposal was approved by the excos for the governor. Now, this morning we woke up to these images of the State House of Assembly building. You can see it in rubbles there, being pulled down. Look at it. It's gone, Otilo. All while at the same time, the factional speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Edison Ehie, was sitting in plenary with 4 assembly members who are loyal to Governor Siminalayi Fubara to receive the budget proposal presented by His Excellency, the Governor of River State. And also, just before that, they declared the seats of his 27 colleagues. He declared them in a Martin Amehule-led parallel House of Assembly vacant for that defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. All this happened while the House was being demolished. Now, if the Edison Ehie House of Assembly sat when the building was being pulled down, that's the House of Assembly complex was being pulled down, where did the Ehie-led Assembly sit? You might ask. Well, the Edison Ehie faction sat in plenary in Government House, Port Harcourt, which the state government has made available to the House of Assembly after last month's explosion and fire incident that destroyed the Assembly's main chamber. Remember that one? Well, joining us to make sense of all of this, we have a member of the River State House of Assembly, Honorable Enemy Alaba George. He joins us via Zoom from Port Harcourt. We will be joined later by the Commissioner for Information, River State, and of course 2 other individuals whom we'll reveal as we go on. Honorable Alaba George, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Kofi. Good to see you today.
Yes, great to see you too. It's been a whirlwind 24 hours for you and your colleagues. You left Port Harcourt for your private function, and with the House of Assembly intact, I'm sure your office and your equipment, you went home, to your family, and then the next day you woke up to go back to work and to see that the Assembly was not there. It was mere rubbles. What's your reaction to that demolition?
Well, Kofi, it's a sad day for Rivers people. It's a sad day for democracy. I said earlier today that today in Rivers State, history was murdered. We woke up to the news of the demolition of our Rivers State House of Assembly complex, personally supervised by the governor of the state. It was demolished with all of our stuff, our personal belongings, effects, our furniture. But that's not even what hurts us the most. The entire history of the House of Assembly, from the first assembly to the 10th assembly, our files, our archives, our laws, our Hansard, the entire embodiment of the House of Assembly in document form was brought down alongside that building. It is unfortunate. My colleagues and I have lost a lot, but it is the state that has lost the most. Because when I came into the House of Assembly, I was trained and taught how to do this job through our libraries, through our archives, through our legislative department, through our legal departments. All that history all those artifacts, all those symbolic items of the House of Assembly were this morning brought down alongside that building. And for us, it's a very sad story. It's a very sad story.
It's quite remarkable, or let's say surprising, what's going on. We hear that the governor has given you an alternative accommodation whilst the assembly is inaccessible. We know what happened right there. There was a fire incident after an explosion. We also saw the videos and the pictures of burned beyond recognition hollow chamber. So do you understand that the government of Rivers State had to pull this building down to renovate it because they're saying it constituted a threat to human life? It was a danger, a disaster waiting to happen.
I will tell you something, Kofi. The governor has no power to decide where the House of Assembly sits. It is the House of Assembly that will decide where it sits. That's number one. If you look at the Constitution, there's horizontal separation of powers. All three arms of government are equal, and one arm cannot interfere with the activities or functioning of the other arm. In Section 4 of the Constitution 1999 as altered, in Section 5 of the Constitution and in Section 6, you will see it clearly defined that the executive cannot interfere with the activities of the legislature. That's on the one hand. When we had the burning of the hallowed chambers, the Rivers House of Assembly complex is the biggest, the most functional, and the best House of Assembly complex in the country. It's a massive complex. The hallowed chambers is just one small part of the complex. That's why when it was burnt down, we changed our sitting location to one of our auditoriums. It's a massive building with restaurants inside, with clinics inside, with offices, with committee rooms. It's a massive building. So that is not correct. So number one, the governor has no such power. If you want to relocate the House of Assembly or bring the House of Assembly down, it is the House of Assembly that will decide, and then maybe organize this with you with a plan. You don't wake up one morning, take bulldozers into the House of Assembly complex, and bring down the structure alongside everything that was ever known as the House of Assembly in Rivers State. It is an attack on the institution. It's so sad. Our laws, our archives, our laws, they were laws that were made by people who are not living anymore. For our predecessors, our forebears, we have archives. There are a lot of things that are very symbolic that we always refer to. There are laws that had been amended, laws that had gone out of fashion, but they are still there to guide the next generation on
Honorable,
legislative duties.
Yes, you made a point which I'd like to touch on. You said that His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, personally supervised that demolition. But we hear he was presenting a budget before the House of Assembly, so maybe logic says that he could not have been there.
At the House of Assembly complex with his security and supervised the beginning of demolition, and at some point left to the government house to present the budget to the 4 members that they now call members of the House of Assembly. That very funny Twitter infantile adventure.
All right. We have joining us Darlington. Okay. All right. We'll introduce our guest later. Do you remember sometime in 2015, if I'm not mistaken, there was a demolition of the State House of Assembly staff quarters, and the then Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, made a statement somehow referring to regarding the fact that the government can embark on such an exercise. Some have gone back to dig up that footage to play it back to say, well, if he did it then, then the governor now can do it.
Kofi, that is very correct. The House of Assembly quarters was due for either renovation or remodeling or whatever. And then the governor spoke to the members of the House of Assembly, had a timeline, relocated. It took us almost 3 months to relocate every member of the House of Assembly that was living at that time at the House of Assembly quarters before the site was handed over to the company. It was Mr. Speaker himself that handed over the site to lubricant construction company that will now do the construction. This is a different situation. There was no warning. There was no such approval. If there was warning, at least we would have been able to retrieve certain sensitive documents that we have in that building. Our aides were there this morning to try and salvage some documents they could. They were not even allowed in up till this moment that I speak to you. So these are two different scenarios. If the executive wants to intervene in that manner, yes, but you have to do it with the approval of the House of Assembly and have a functional plan that allows them to relocate properly, move out their stuff, move out our sensitive documents, and get a place as approved by the House that will make our work easy.
All right, but I mean, he had said before now, please move to the state government house for your city. So it could be argued that you've been given that opportunity.
There was no such conversation with the House of Assembly. Remember that the House of Assembly is constituted. We have members, currently 27 members that are still sitting. So even the Speaker cannot take that decision on his own. It has to be taken by the House of Assembly before that kind of action can be taken. It's so sad. You know, for me, I've lost quite a lot in that building that was brought down today. The most sensitive personal item that I lost in that demolition is a picture, is a portrait of my late father when he was still in service of the Nigerian Air Force, which usually I always keep on my left. I have very strong sentimental attachment to that picture. It hurts me so much that I have lost that. But it doesn't hurt me as much as what the state and what the institution of the legislature has lost. That is the issue. What we have lost there can never be undone, can never be repaired.
But I'm sorry about the loss of your father's portrait. Indeed, he's one of the eminent personalities in Rivers State. How else could this renovation have been carried out? Looking at the fire, fire compromises the structural integrity of buildings. You know that well. So how else could this renovation have been carried out?
I know that you have lived in Rivers State before, and you know what the Rivers State House of Assembly looks like.
Yeah.
The complex is a massive complex with different auditoriums and halls and big-sized halls and smaller-sized halls. We have restaurants. We have the clinic in there. We have our library. We have our legislative department. We have our press department. We have the legal department. It's a massive building. The Hallowed Chambers is a small fraction, and it is a bit removed from where the offices are because it is hallowed. So usually it's separate from the busy area of the complex. It's one corner of the complex that is seen to be quiet so that we can carry out our functions in the chambers without disturbances. Okay? It was that hallowed chambers that was burnt down by these same people. Inside the hallowed chambers. All right. It wasn't even external. So any renovations or anything could have been restricted to the hallowed chambers. Even if you decide to bring down the entire hallowed chambers, it still wouldn't affect the complex itself. It's not Rivers State House of Assembly building. It's Rivers State House of Assembly complex. That complex houses the Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission and other institutions of government. And many other halls. Honorable
Alaba George, I would like to ask you, bring in that the documents that you're talking about in memory, the history, the records of the assembly are domiciled with the clerk of the house and maybe the deputy clerk. So the argument is that, the documents are safe.
The documents are not safe. The clerk was not one. Nobody had prior information. The House of Assembly has its library. You can't find all of these documents in one place. Our legislative drafting department, is different, it's on its own, have their legislative documents. Our legal department is different from where you have the legislative department. So their records are different. We have a library. It's inside, it's a separate space. We have our archives still in the complex, a separate space.
So you're saying all these were part of what was brought down this morning?
All of this, you saw the pictures.
All right. Okay, Honorable, stay with me, please, as we bring in the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Rivers State, Wire Senebo, Joe Johnson. Mr. Johnson, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Our guest, a member of the Rivers State House of Assembly, has has said that the Governor, His Excellency Nyesom Fubara, personally supervised the demolition of the River State House of Assembly this morning. What's your reaction to that?
I was not there when the whole episode took place, so it will be difficult for me to say who supervised what.
Okay, but what is the official position of the River State government on this demolition, sir? Mr. Joe Johnson, can you hear me, please? All right, we will get back to him. Mr. Johnson, are you there? Okay, bit of a network challenge with his Zoom. Honorable Enemy Alabo George, do you think this incident this morning is, well, before I go there, who is the authentic Speaker of the River State House of Assembly as we speak?
The Speaker of the River State House of Assembly is Right Honorable Martin Chike Amewole, who is backed by 26 other members of the House of Assembly. There is a subsisting court order that recognizes Martin Chike Amewole as the Speaker. And any other thing that has been done is a nullity. Kofi, nemo dat quod non habet. That is, you cannot give what is tried principle in law, that you cannot give what you don't have. It's also tried principle in law that when there are two equals in equity, the first in time prevails. There is a subsisting court order that recognizes Martin Amewole and restricts the executive arm of government or any other arm of government from interfering with.
What about the court injunction from yesterday? It's been argued that means Edison is the Speaker of the House.
No. That is not true. That was an ex parte order. In the first place, that order, if you read through it, did not recognize Ehie as the Speaker of the House of Assembly.
All right.
It did not. And then again, there is the same matter in another court.
Okay.
The same parties, the same prayers, the same everything in another court, which had the substantive matter, parties had argued it and had adjourned to January.
Okay, Honorable,
judgment.
We will discuss this further with you because, you know, we have to look at other aspects of this. But I want to thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me, Kofi.